from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour, the final day of the week. It's Friday the 13th, by the way. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We're keeping a close eye on the weather, particularly winds whipping up something fierce like. Brian Hughes is going to join us to talk about that coming up a little bit later on. Also, Open Line West Virginia coming up. But right now, it's time for your Weekend Sports Blitz. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It's Friday the 13th. Across the great state of West Virginia. Actually, it's Friday the 13th, I guess, everywhere right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's Metro News. Fair. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Ryan Nicholson, Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Again, wind advisories in effect in some areas of the state. It's not that much, but we get these occasional gusts, 50 to 60 miles an hour. Some areas are really going to get hammered by wind. We're not talking about rain, thunderstorms, snow, and we're just talking about the winds. Brian Hughes is going to join us to talk about that a little bit later on. Each weekend, we get you ready for the weekend in sports, and you have a award-winning member of the Metro News sports team in here, Daniel Woods. We bring in Tom Bragg from time to time. I think Greg Carey has done it. We've had a variety of people. And today, oh my goodness, the MVP is here. It's Dave Weekley, host of Metro News Hotline on many of these same Metro News stations.
Wait, this isn't. Oh, I'm sorry. My show's in an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry.
You're still on.
I'm just in a seat. I didn't realize this year's show is going. Where's Amanda Barron? What's the deal on that?
Amanda leaves at 2:00. She goes and does TV things.
Wait a minute. Is this about me?
What?
That she's not here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Well,
it is.
I'm sorry to hear
Dave Weekley. First of all, have you ever done sports before?
Yeah. I've talked to sporty sports.
Have you ever done sports on camera?
Yeah, a lot of that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
A lot of that.
All right. By the way, happy anniversary to me.
Happy anniversary. What's your anniversary?
38 years in radio today. What?
That's a long drink, man.
38 years.
That's a full dose, son. I've taken tickets on this train.
38 years of radio. What do I have to show for it? Well, I have no hearing in my left ear. I can name any song prior to like 1995 in 3 seconds or less. I can answer any musical question, again, in that same time frame on Jeopardy that comes up. So I got that. I can tell you my wife and I will be driving somewhere and a song will come on the radio, and I'll say, oh, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Don't Do Me Like That, 2 minutes, 34 seconds. So I got that going for me.
That's good. That's good. I didn't realize you literally are deaf in one ear?
It's not diagnosed, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no. Matter of fact, Weekley, I wear my headphones so loud that I have to watch listeners will probably notice this. If I turn a certain way, I get feedback because I have to have my headphones.
You don't have to tell me this. Well, I follow you, so when I plug in, if I'm not watching the volume, it's a pretty scary thing.
It is.
Well, hey man, I'm happy to be here for you
for my 38th anniversary.
For your 38th anniversary. Yeah. When's the anniversary? When's the 1 year anniversary of this show?
March 24th.
Well, I knew that was coming up.
So we'll see if we make it till then.
What's the what do you get a person for their first anniversary?
I think it's aluminum.
I think you're right.
I think as in 12
right.
A 12-pack.
Your text line is very active.
It is.
Your text line has got some interesting characters.
It does. Sometimes I try to figure out what they're saying. I've got one here in front of me right now that I have no idea what it says.
Oh, really?
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to read on one embarrassed, but I to the texter who texted about at 106, if you could retext that, because I have no idea what you said.
And listen, because I'm in this hour for the people the hate mail about me, Just delete those before because I'm having such a good
The
day.
only hate mail I ever got about you was from your wife. That's the only that's the only person that ever sends you hate mail.
She was very happy to send me to the office early today.
Just like my wife.
Very
is.
happy.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk a little sports
Okay.
here.
You want to talk about the girls' tournament?
Let's talk about the girls' tournament.
First of all, the arena looks fantastic. With the new seats and the new court and everything, it really, really looks good over there. So it's semifinal Friday. Of course, you had a couple of semifinals yesterday because with 4 West Virginia classes now, you can't have every semifinal game on Friday. But we've had a couple of interesting ball games over there already today. Williamstown beat Wheeling Central 53-42. I was looking at some stuff yesterday about, now that you got 4 West Virginia classes, how many instances do we have of teams that win the boys tournament and the girls tournament in the same year? It's happened a few times. Wheeling Central's done it a host of times, so it's not going to happen this year because they got knocked out in the semifinal round today by Williamstown. And Wheeling Central had a 10-point lead in that game at halftime. Greenbrier East defeated Kaiser 52-37, and so Williamstown is going to play the winner of the Wyoming East James Monroe game that is going on right now. Let me give you a quick update on that bad boy.
This is why we brought him in, Stephanie. This is why we brought him in.
James Monroe is winning this game. I don't know what's going on with Wyoming East. There's just a lid on the basket for them today. 34-15 with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. So we'll keep you updated on that. Tonight, you got a really terrific triple header. GW and Parkersburg South. Now, Parkersburg South is one of those teams that's done it in the past. They've had a year where they won the boys tournament and the girls tournament in the same year. GW and Parkersburg South, pregame's at 5. That game tips at 5:30. Nitro and East Fairmont. East Fairmont probably has one of the biggest upsets of the tournament so far, so they're going to try to keep their season alive and buzz their way. The Bees. See what it did there?
See what you did there.
Trying to get to the final, but they'll have to beat Nitro. And then Parkersburg and Morgantown will play at 9 o'clock. Morgantown is a pretty good candidate to potentially have a double-double. They have done that. I think they did that in 2016, where the Mohegans won the girls and the boys tournament in the same year. And now, I bet you're in a pretty good mood about Logan, right? Logan winning last night by a point.
Did they win last night?
Do you follow the Wildcats?
A little bit.
Yeah, I imagine.
The Logan boys last night. What a finish to that game. I mean, it was. I've always said this about my alma mater. There's certain coaches in the world of sports, whether it's high school, middle school, or pro, that when it comes a certain time of year, you never count them out. And you never count out the Logan Wildcats when it comes to March. And Hatcher got them in the state tournament over Charleston Catholic, and it was literally a last-second thing. I mean, Logan steals the ball, goes down, puts it up, game over.
Game is over. I heard a rumor that Logan's fans know their way to Charleston.
Well, you know what's going to happen?
There's a rumor about that.
Next week, there won't be a person in Logan County because Logan and Chapmanville Regional play back-to-back.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
I did see that. Hey, speaking of that, so now the field for the boys tournament is set. We were basically set until last night's AA regional finals. Now those are all done. I didn't realize, man, Wayne is coming to the tournament. Wayne has never been to the state tournament.
Really?
Yes. Isn't that stunning? Yeah. See, that was my reaction when I saw that this morning. I did not know that Wayne had never qualified for the state tournament. So I think that's pretty exciting. So they'll bring fans too. In my show, if I wasn't doing shows like this one, I could probably research this. So I'm going to blame you for it.
Yeah, sure.
I need to spend a little bit of time doing research on the list of schools in our state that have never been to the state tournament.
I bet I could call up Speedy Bevins right now, and Speedy would tell you the years and the years that they came close off the top of his head, and the starting lineup.
Yeah, I would go to Claude, but I think maybe going to Speedy might be better.
Speedy, like they do that, advantage Speedy because Speedy knows all when it comes to high school sports in the state of West Virginia.
You probably don't know this because
probably not.
That my Uncle Henry Howard at one point was the oldest surviving member of the West Virginia high school basketball tournament all-tournament team.
Really?
He lived to see his 100th birthday, and when he played in the early 20s for Middleburn, they got to the state tournament, and he was the leading scorer in one of their games with 4 points.
Nice.
Made 2 baskets in a game.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
That's all it took. All right, I do want to quickly remind you, we'll get away from high school. I do want to remind you that all 4 of the girls' championship games will be available on Metro News Television tomorrow. If you haven't done so, make sure you download the Metro News TV app. Of course, you can follow all the action, Metro News Radio on WVMetroNews.com and many of your favorite Metro News radio station. All right, WVU women are going to be keeping a close eye on the television. Is that how they still do it?
On the televisions?
Yeah.
Okay, there was something about that I didn't realize until earlier this week, that WVU, the women's team, they know that they are through to the NCAAs because they get the automatic bid for winning the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
Yep.
All right, but they will know tomorrow whether or not they will be hosting, because tomorrow the national seeds will be released. So they'll know who they're going to play on Sunday, but they're going to have a pretty good idea on whether or not they're going to be hosting tomorrow.
I thought it was already a lock that they were hosting.
Not a lock.
Okay.
No, not necessarily a lock.
Like a half lock? Like a combination lock with maybe like 2 of the numbers already in?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. Well, they should, right?
Okay.
They probably should. But they will not. That will be confirmed tomorrow before the field actually comes out in the women's tournament. That'll be on Sunday night. Hey, did you see where Marshall's football schedule's out?
Yeah, we just talked about that last
Did you?
hour. Yeah.
What do you think?
And they are playing the 75 game on the actual anniversary.
Saw that.
That's it. Yeah.
I saw that. And looking at some of these games, Penn State.
Well, I mean, we went down to Georgia. Never mind.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So the other game, the game that really got my attention was the game at Missouri State. I mean, remember Missouri State, when Missouri State did a home and home with Marshall, fans were like, "Oh, Missouri State. I don't know if I want to go to that game. That's going to be a walkover game." And then they beat Marshall last year. So now they've got to go to Missouri State. I thought that was interesting too. Did you see where the homecoming game for Marshall is not a Sun Belt game?
I saw. Yeah, I might have talked about that last hour.
Yeah, Gardner Webb. That's kind of unusual, right?
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking.
Remember back in the day when you would that's the way you used to do it, where you would guarantee a win your homecoming opponent. You would always want to schedule your homecoming opponent against a team that
against the Washington Generals.
Yes, or whatever. Sonny Randall used to have a great thing where he would say that when he was coaching Marshall, they were so bad that they were everybody's homecoming game, and they carried their own float when they went on the road.
I love that. And I can hear Sonny Randall saying that. I really can. Let's go back to college basketball for a moment. You're kind of keeping an eye here in the studio on Kentucky, Florida right now.
Oh, okay. First of all, if you follow Kentucky basketball in the SEC tournament in Nashville, am I imagining things, or did they always used to get Kentucky in the nighttime sessions? It seemed like Kentucky would always play in prime time for television. This is the 3rd day in a row that the Cats have played at either noon or 1 o'clock. Although, for Big Blue Nation, this is a pretty good deal, right? It's like you play your game at noon, dude, you're on the streets by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So they're playing Florida today. They're going to go to the NCAA tournament. But I think this is probably one of the years where Kentucky's really had, no real hopes of winning the SEC tournament. How many SEC tournament championships does Kentucky even have? It's got to be close to 30, right?
I would think, yeah.
Yeah. How about the story about the Big 12 basketball floor? Courtgate.
Courtgate.
Did you hear about that?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, Courtgate. Well, at the Big 12 tournament this week, they've been playing on this lighted basketball floor.
Actually,
okay?
yeah, I did hear that.
So last night, after the semifinals were over and Kansas beat TCU, Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the league, said, okay, enough. They've had too many people complaining about it. So now they're going to go back to a traditional floor for tonight's semifinals and the championship
Brad
game.
Howell on the other day, and he was actually at Mountaineer practice when he called for the Mountaineer men's game the other day, and he was the one that was really talking about that floor. And how cool it was. He also sent me some pictures of some barbecue that he was eating out there, too.
Is that right?
Well,
they have that in Kansas City.
It's Howell and Caridi. There's going to be food involved. I can tell you that. All right, quickly, what other big games are you looking at in the conference tournament this weekend?
Well, I think
they're all big, but is there any one in particular that sticks out to you?
Well, Ohio State and Michigan are playing this afternoon.
That's always big.
Yeah, so anytime they play. And I think the other big story is, what are we going to do with Miami of Ohio? I mean, Miami of Ohio was undefeated, and then they lost to UMass in the quarterfinals of the MAC tournament in Cleveland yesterday. They're in the tournament, right?
I
mean, if Miami doesn't get a bid to the NCAA tournament at 31-1, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? But the question is, where do you seed them? Do you make them play in Dayton? What do you do with Miami? You can't possibly leave them out of the tournament, despite the fact that they've got a strength of schedule. I think it's like 298. But that's just one of those things. It's interesting when you look at the Miami situation because Marshall beat UMass. Marshall beat UMass in Amherst, but then Miami beat Marshall at the CAM. So I'll be interested to see how they handle the Miami situation.
All right. That is your weekend sports blitz.
Are we done?
You did well. You did well for the first time.
Well, I got my story in about my Uncle Henry. That was kind of my goal.
Goals met for Dave Weekley. Now you got time to kill. Before your show comes up at 3:00. Well, actually, I bring you in about 2:55 or so. So
Coop's got a couch up in his office, right?
Yeah.
Well,
let me give you a little piece of advice as somebody who's been in this business for 38 years.
Yeah.
Never sleep on a radio station couch. Never.
That's actually very good
advice. Just saying, don't ever sleep on a radio
advice.
station couch. It's probably true for TV, but especially.
Yeah.
And if there's one in our classic rock station, the Mountain Studio, don't even walk close to it.
Don't even go closer. All right, so, in my mind, this segment went well. What did you think?
Yeah.
Should we do another one like next Friday?
I think you're going to do one next Friday, too.
Okay. All right.
Check out Weekley, who's Stephanie says thumbs up. All right, so Weekley and the crew will be up with Hotline. We'll talk to you about 2:55 or so, my friend. Thanks a lot.
That's a plan.
All right, it's 2:22. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. After the news, 1-800-765-TALK or text 304-TALK 304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hardwood Heat meets the Mountain State in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Girls High School Basketball State Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 14th. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. It makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
This Friday, the 13th, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen in the host chair today. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Appreciate Dave Weekley for stepping in on the Sports Blitz today. Mr. Weekley will be back next hour. Many of these same Metro News stations with Hotline. If you're the parent of a child who's a junior in high school or know someone that is, here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan. Room, board, tuition, and fees all included. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and by the West Virginia Farm Bureau. Deadline is May 3rd. Details available WVMetronews.com, WVMetronews.com. Simply hit that click Apply Now button, and you're good to go. Now, the deadline, though, is May the 3rd, so you got till then. Again, go to WVMetronews.com, click the Apply Now button, and the 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers. Open Line West Virginia on the way at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news out of the Capitol. A bill that would end immediate athletic eligibility for high school transfers and go back to the rules as they were prior to the year 2023 has passed the legislature. House Bill 4425, and it was brought about to address a law that the legislature passed in 2023 that allows high school athletes basically to transfer schools and be immediately eligible to play. HB 4425 goes back to the rules as they were prior to 2023, which required transferring student athletes to sit out a year before regaining eligibility. Now, supporters of the change back to the previous rule have said the current transfer rule has simply created too many competitive imbalances among the schools. And the SSAC, West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission, had that's the governing body of sports in West Virginia. They said that they were so basically what's going to happen is things are going to go back to the way they were before, and it had already passed the Senate, and it will now head to the governor's desk. So basically all this does is it returns it back to the Secondary Schools Activity Commission, where a lot of people, present company included, believe it should have been to begin with. That's, editorial comment on your host here. I don't think that the legislature has any business being involved in anything related to high school sports. I think we have an SSAC for a reason, as TJ Meadows said on the show earlier. We have a Secondary Schools Activities Commission for a reason, and let them do their job. In West Virginia legislature, stay out of it. All right, just completely stay out. Of course, I'm a guy that thinks that the legislature and a governmental body should stay out of a lot of things that they're involved in. Again, editorial comment from your host. We're coming up on 2:30. We'll get your comments. Open Line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK, or text 304-TALK-304 when we come back after the bottom of the hour break. You're listening to Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're back after this. And now we'll go to the Metro News anchor desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. There are ongoing discussions in the House of Delegates this afternoon aimed at reducing the state's income tax by 5%, but it's not as simple as just voting that up or down. Debates underway on a number of amendments that are being offered to the bill. Lawmakers looking at increasing taxes on gambling and sports betting in the state to make up for that income tax revenue. The bill also increases the tax on vaping products from 7% to 25%. The debate happening this afternoon in the House. Things moved along pretty quickly today in the Senate as senators approved a bill that would enable those ages 18 to 20 to conceal carry a gun without a permit. Montague County Senator Chris Rose says it was a no-brainer to him.
18 and 20-year-olds have fought in every major war that this country's ever had to defend our rights and freedoms, including World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and I can name them all. But what they have been denied so far in West Virginia is their right to constitutionally carry.
The bill passed 31-3. Another high-profile bill also cleared the Senate, the transfer rule, after a number of impassioned speeches like that from Senator Amy Grady, who said the argument this hurts school choice is hollow.
It's all about athletics, all of it. You know, our current free-to-transfer law, it might seem harmless on the surface, and I think our intent when we did it was good. But in so many cases, it's damaged the integrity of high school sports.
And it passed 20-14. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Things getting windy this afternoon. The National Weather Service has wind advisories in effect for much of the state. Those are elevated to wind warnings in the higher elevations with sustained winds of 25 to 30 miles an hour and gusts up to 50. The Lady Spartans of Greenbrier East maintain their undefeated record. They're one win away from a perfect season. Greenbrier East beat Kaiser 52-37 earlier today at the Girls State High School basketball tournament in the semifinals to land a spot in tomorrow's championship matchup. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your health care decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 on this Friday the 13th, a windy Friday the 13th. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up momentarily. Get your calls and text in. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. But before we get to that, I'm going to go to meteorologist Brian Hughes right now to talk about these winds in the Mountain States. Brian, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Well, Dave, good to talk to you. Just out and about in Charleston, and yes, the wind has been a little stout at times.
So the wind advisory kicked in at what time today for most areas?
I just started about 9 o'clock this morning,
okay.
And it continues in this afternoon, this evening, because this wind is just not going to stop today.
I mean, I can hear it. Wherever you are, I can actually hear it right now. And certain areas of the state are going to get hit, as is the case with weather in West Virginia, Brian. Certain areas are going to get hit a lot harder than others are, right?
Yeah, what we're looking at is, generally speaking, we've already had wind gusts, for instance, at the airport at about 45 miles an hour. We're going to see, and that's at a number of sites across the region. But we're also going to see some of these wind numbers that are going to come in. You know, the higher elevations, you get up at Snowshoe, they're going to have an easy 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and higher today. But all this is driven, obviously, there's not any rain out here. I'll tell you this, the good thing is that there are a lot of clouds. This cloud deck, coming from West Texas, where a 20 to 30-mile-hour wind is just a slight breeze. I can tell you this growing up as a kid. the good part about this is when we saw in West Texas the clouds moving in, we knew things were going to get better. And that's the case now. We need the clouds to help us out because it's called mixing down. What happens is you've got winds right now that are moving at about 500 plus miles an hour, about 36,000 feet up. And when you've got wind moving like that, if you don't have any clouds, essentially the clouds act as a brake. So if you have no clouds, the wind just makes straight down to the surface, and you've got an insane amount of wind. But the good thing about it is we've got these clouds, and that's helping to at least curtail some of it. So the lower elevations have gusts of 40 to 50 with winds sustained at 20 to 30 at times. And then you've got, the wind gusts in the tops of the mountains at Snowshoe. Those folks up there in Canaan Valley, they're dealing with a much stouter wind today.
All right. And this is going to last until what time approximately?
Listen, we're going to see these winds continuing into the evening and nighttime hours, but once we get past midnight, we're going to start to see them slack off. I can tell you this, if you were riding in some jets yesterday or today, you probably had a bumpy ride. And some of the planes, some of the jets today moving from west to east will be moving at such a great clip, or what we call such a great speed, that there will be some records broken by airliners today because that's how strong the winds are. I mean, it's just criminally insane. But just remember, we go to the 60s tomorrow, some 70s on Sunday, rain on Monday, and bring some cold air in Monday night, and that can transition into snow in some parts of the region, especially the mountains of West Virginia.
All right, Brian Hughes, stay safe out there. I appreciate it, my friend. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Meteorologist Brian Hughes, Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes. Yeah, I've stolen Brian's joke. He told me in the hallway this morning, and I've passed it off as my own, but it's actually Brian Hughes' joke. The way the winds are right now in West Virginia, if you don't like your garbage can, just give it a little bit of time because your neighbor's garbage can is going to end up in your yard, and you can take his. So just keep that in mind. So something good out of this. Yeah, you could hear, and Brian is here in Charleston, and you could actually hear the sounds of that wind. And again, we're talking about sustained wind. And the reason we're saying this is because people have a tendency when there's, let's say, heavy rain or there's snow, they understand that. But what happens is on the bridges on the interstates, I mean, sometimes it's nothing, in especially vehicles. A lot of folks like myself drive an SUV. SUVs may be good in the snow, but the wind, they're a little top heavy, can create some issues sometimes. I mean, literally, your vehicle will switch lanes without you even thinking about it. So just not saying don't travel or anything like that. I'm just saying, just be aware, be weather aware, as they say. And if you got stuff in your yard, many people may have St. Patrick's Day decorations or Easter decorations out. Just keep a close eye on them. But everything should die down, they say, after about midnight tonight. All right, let's get into it. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Quick note before we get to the text, I do want to mention there's a big event going on in Charleston tomorrow, and I say this because I know a lot of you folks may be heading down for the girls' state championship basketball tournament going on at the Coliseum Convention Center. Tomorrow's championship Saturday. If you're looking for something to do while you're in town, the annual Green Chili Shootout is happening at Capitol Market, just a couple of blocks away from us here in downtown Charleston, noon to 4 tomorrow. It is a officially sanctioned green chili event. People that win here will then move on to world championships and whatnot. And there's also amateurs involved in it as well. And it's a typical food type thing where you X amount of dollars. It's free to get in to Capitol Market, but then if you want to sample the chili, you buy the tickets and so on and so forth. Also, right in the middle of all of it, there is a pro wrestling event, Regatta Pro Wrestling, on the grounds of Capitol Market tomorrow. And if you're coming out for the wrestling show, it's free. Absolutely. They'll have some chairs out. You might want to bring your lawn chairs with you. But the wrestling event is free. If you don't want to eat or anything like that, if you just want to come to the wrestling show, there's no charge for that. And, of course, it's a great time, exciting time to be at Capitol Market, one of the real jewels that we have here in the capital city. And I'm going to be over there tomorrow with one of our sister stations here in Charleston, and I'm going to be a judge for the chili competition tomorrow. So I am looking forward to that myself and a couple others from our sister station, 98.7 The Mountain, Wild and Wonderful Classic Rock. Also Rob Reel from 96.1 KWS will be there tomorrow. So just saying, if you're coming to Charleston, coming to the capital city, looking for something to do tomorrow, join us over at Capitol Market for the annual Green Chili Shootouts. And we got a little chili and we got a little pro wrestling. What more could you want for a Saturday afternoon in West Virginia? 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Also, and I posted something about this on social media last night, depending on what you were doing, March 13th is a very important day. In addition to being Friday the 13th this year, it is also in many circles, give or take a few days, depending on again what you're doing in life, was the day the world shut down for COVID in 2020. And it's going to be one of those moments, and we'd heard about it. I guess we'd heard about COVID since probably around end of December, early January. And it was going to be a thing. And, if you remember now, it seems like it was forever ago. West Virginia was one of the last states to get the folks diagnosed with COVID. And, of course, we lost hundreds of thousands of people. And it became such a lightning rod. And the disease, and I stated this in something that I read, the disease itself divided America. The disease is gone, although people do still get COVID. The disease is gone. America remains divided. And a lot of that was caused during COVID, and a lot of it continues well after COVID. 1-800-765-TALK is a phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Let's go to the phones. Jim, you're on the show. Good afternoon.
Hello, Dave. How you doing today?
Doing fine, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Is Brian Hughes with West Virginia Radio Corporation
Yes,
now
he is. Yes.
and left WOWK?
Yeah, he is no longer with them. He is now employed by West Virginia Metro News.
That's great.
Yeah, we like to have
Thanks
it.
a lot.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Brian Hughes is one of us now. He's joined, as Rob Reel likes to call it, the island of misfit toys. But he was a little misfit himself before he got here. 18 minutes away from 3. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, my text always makes sense. I was talking about somebody who, God bless him, texted something today that I have no idea what it said. So that's what that texter says. Text says, happy Friday the 13th. What am I superstitious about? Donald Trump being in office with access to the button. Text says, another year at the legislature, nothing meaningful got done. It's sad. Text says, I'm currently upset there's no state severe weather awareness week and statewide tornado drill. That doesn't fit your format, says the texter. Well, we'll take part. Text says, the Democrats will destroy America from the inside because of their hate for Trump. They refuse to fund Homeland Security. All the illegal terrorists Biden let in will bring America down. But all you people who can't see the forest for the trees might wish you had not been deceived by Democrats. They hate America, says a texter. What, says a texter? No gloating about your Logan Wildcats, Dave? I mentioned it when I was talking to Dave Weekley earlier. It was a big win for my alma mater last night. Most people didn't give them a chance, and they get the last second steal and a win over Charleston Catholic. And yes, Coach Mark Hatcher and the Logan Wildcats are headed to the state tournament next week. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We'll take a break and come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Hardwood Heat meets the Mountain State in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Girls High School Basketball State Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 14th. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
It all comes down to this in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Boys High School Basketball State Championships presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 21st. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment. Live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
Welcome back to the show. 13 away from 3, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WJLS in Beckley, our flagship here in Charleston at 1111 Virginia Street East, WCHS, WKMZ Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR in Morgantown, WSLW White Sulphur Springs, WKKX, WVLY in Wheeling. Text says, Dave, Trump I sat rallies railing about stolen elections. Republican senators, House members, but aren't towing his line, producing shameful video games depicting the war. This is what his loyal MAGA followers signed up for, ? Pure insanity. Folks best be paying a little more attention to the real news. Trouble here. And it's signed Jim. Text says, I agree with what I heard one of you guys say earlier. There's going to be a big-time change in the legislature. I, for one, working to make sure every incumbent gets beat. Text says, attended a couple of games at the Coliseum Convention Center. Just wanted to say I think the new seats are great. Text says, this wind is insane. That's all. Text, another day, another delay in releasing the Epstein files. Once Trump blows Iran off the map, he'll pick another war with another country to get everyone's mind off the Epstein files. Text says, heard your pepperoni roll debate this morning. I agree with your guest. The only way to eat pepperoni rolls is with stick pepperoni and absolutely no cheese, says the great pepperoni roll debates. Text says, some great games so far at the girls' state tournament. Where are the people whining about transfers now? Well, there have been some fantastic games at the girls' state tournament. There's also been some blowouts as well. And I don't know that the transfer and I'd have to, I guess, probably defer to someone who's a little bit more learned, I love saying that word, than I am about high school sports. I don't know that the transfer rule hit as many in the basketball community as hard as it did the football community. That's where you saw the big-time blowouts. But again, there have been good games, and like every state tournament, good and not so great games at the tournament. Text says, being divided during COVID came from the messaging from those that knew what they were talking about and from those that didn't, also known as the Trump White House, says a texter. Text says, hillbilly CNN. I love it. Somebody referred to this segment, or me or whatever, on social media as hillbilly CNN. I always own the term hillbilly, even as a Logan Wildcat. I'll own the term hillbilly. Tex says, how about them Logan Wildcats? Indeed. Tex says, as someone who looks forward to attending the state tournament every year, it's sad what the Charleston Town Center has become. For those of us here in Charleston, and those of us that grew up, I did not grow up in Charleston, but I certainly spent a lot of time, an hour away, an hour and a half away in my hometown, and coming to the town center, which is something that even those of us in the coal fields did. It is sad what the Charleston Town Center has become. And for those of you that are in town now for the girls' state basketball tournament or will come in town for the boys' tournament next year, it was always a big part of it, especially if you're from an area that doesn't have a shopping mall, and it was always a big part of it. Kill a little time and go out to eat and go to the mall. I will say this, though, for those of you that are coming to the capital city next week, it is sad what the Charleston Town Center has become. And I've heard people say, well, why doesn't the city do more about it? Well, because the Charleston Town Center is a private business. It's privately owned. And as long as the company, the parent company, pays taxes and does what they're supposed to do, there's not a heck of a lot the city can do about it. Now, you've heard it in the news that the city of Charleston has been in negotiations to work out some kind of a deal to get the town center. But until that happens, there's not a whole lot that a city can do. And yes, again, those of you that are coming to town next week, I'm not discouraging anybody from going to the town center by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going to say you're not going to find a heck of a lot there, because if you thought there was nothing there last year, there's a whole lot more nothing this year. How's that for some good English? Tex says we don't call them the Epstein files anymore. We now call them the Trump files. Tex says snow, 80-degree temperatures, and now wind, but no, climate change is not real. Tex says, are we really debating pepperoni rolls again? A true pepperoni roll is just bread and pepperoni, no matter what type of pepperoni you like. I say add as much pepperoni as possible. Stick, sliced, ground, I don't care. Pepperoni roll with cheese is good as well. Also like peppers and sauce sometimes. I hope my man, Tony the Tailor, is not listening to that, because if so, he's in the middle of making somebody's suit down there right now at his store at Virginia Street, and he probably just is saying all kinds of cuss words because he probably just hit himself with his, suit needle or whatever they call it. Texas Dave, good afternoon. People are glad the transfer rule is going back to how things used to be. Us West Virginians always want to go back to how things used to be. Bring coal back, bring back the Town Center Mall, food court, bring back Charleston High, winning basketball championships. 2:53, we'll wrap it up after this.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television. It all comes down to this in Charleston. The 2026 West Virginia Boys High School Basketball State Championships presented by Chick-fil-A. Saturday, March 21st. Every possession, every roar of the crowd, every championship moment. Live on Metro News Television, powered by GoMart. Watch on mobile, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Details at WVMetroNewsTV.com to get in the action.
Smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
We're wrapping it up on a Friday afternoon. Happy Friday the 13th. Hey, look, it's Dave Weekley. He's back again.
What? Is this mic on?
Yes, it is.
I was just over here taking a nap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Stephanie, our producer, tells me that the 1 year, because we were talking about the 1 year anniversary of Metro News Middays, March 24th, it's the paper anniversary.
Oh.
That's what it's the paper anniversary. So basically what that means is in Morgantown, walking papers. That's what that means. Here, happy anniversary, Dave. Here you go.
You know what?
They'll keep Amanda. They'll get rid of me. They'll keep Amanda.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but I'm glad somebody figured that out. What did we say it was? Aluminum?
Yeah.
That's so bad.
Yeah, aluminum Bondo.
Guys don't know these
we
things.
Don't know anything.
We don't know that stuff. Anniversaries, whatever.
But it is, as I said, my 38th year in radio today. And I know you've got a lot of radio experience other than here, too. So we'll get into that sometime.
Okay.
But I will say this about radio. Reports of its demise, its death, are greatly exaggerated. It's still the greatest job in the world. I still live it, love it 38 years later, and I like it more today than I did when I was a 17-year-old kid. How's that?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a lot for a tombstone.
Yeah. Continued on back. All right, Mr. Weekley and the crew coming up with Hotline at many of these same stations. Folks, have yourself a great weekend. And batten down the hatches for this win. We'll see you Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.